Okay, get ready. We're going to go over 15 years of cosplay history with me. Currently, I'm doing my makeup on the floor with like one of these mirrors from like a, this is a blush. And that is simply because I haven't bought a mirror yet. Could I do my makeup in the bathroom? Sure. But do I feel like doing that and standing that whole time? Not really. This is Can Make Tokyo, and this is a skin gel, a UV skin gel. The fun thing about it is that it's green, so it reduces any redness that you might have on your face, which seems to be the majority of the problems that I have, is that my face just likes to get really red for no reason. It is also SPF 50, so it's a sunscreen as well, and if you are at all using makeup or going outdoors, please be sure to use a sunscreen, otherwise you will age like a raisin. We're gonna be diving deep into my cosplay journey. Like I said earlier, I've been a cosplayer for about 15 years. I had humble beginnings starting in middle school. And well, actually more high school, less middle school, but basically 8th grade, 9th grade-ish. And I was just scrolling online, picture this, it's 2008 or so, and I'm just scrolling the internet and I see some weirdo in a costume and I think, I would like to be that weirdo. It just looked fun, it looked fun to create things. I wanted friends that were as off the wall as I was. Because living in a small town, a lot of people had the same interests and I felt like I didn't fit in. Rather than wanting to fit in, I more just wanted to find people that were interested in the same things as I was, because I was not going to change for people I didn't necessarily want to be hanging out with, you know, that felt like a waste. So I was a small town cosplayer. My first convention was KimuraCon in, I believe, 2009. Of course, my cosplay was horrible, it was awful, but my mom helped me and she kind of taught me how to sew. If I wasn't really able to buy costumes, because back then you really couldn't buy them online, and when you could buy mass-produced cosplays, a lot of them were hundreds of dollars. Like, they were very expensive and it wasn't as accessible as it is now. So I cosplayed for about a year before meeting any of my group. For those of you who don't know, I was in a cosplay group. I'm in a cosplay group technically, but we're on hiatus. And with the group is called Fruit Cider Cosplay. We pretty much all met in high school. The majority of us anyway, met in high school. And the bulk of us, those of us who were like the founders, we're actually childhood friends. So we just decided to start cosplaying together, and we started going to like cosplay events and things like that. But these were like small town events. At the time in the community we were in, it was very like localized. So we would put on events and it would be maybe like 20 people that would just show up to like a park, and we would like hang out in the park for a few hours and like play games and stuff, and that was it. That was the cosplay meet. There was no fanfare, nothing fancy happening. It was just we would go to a park together and just like hang out. So because of this community and the way that it worked, it was easy to meet everyone very quickly, because if they went to a cosplay meet, you could just run into them and chat with them for 5 minutes and you would get to know them. And then usually they would have friends that were into cosplay, so you would meet their friends. And the community would continue to grow in that way. So as more people joined, they would introduce their other friends, and everyone just sort of knew everybody. It was really a small town vibe, even though we were living in technically a city. And the cosplayers that were, you know, in Portland, the next major city close to us, they would know all of the cosplayers in like Eugene and Bend and like Ashland, etc. All the surrounding cities. After about a year of like going to these events, I started going to like actual like cosplay conventions. I've gone to a couple before, but like I didn't really like go with anyone. So I had been to KimuraCon once or twice, but I would usually go with my family, and honestly, I would usually spend most of the time alone. I would go there, and then we started to take it a little more seriously by the late high school point. So we started to do like skits and like videos and things like that, because at the time there were cosplay groups that were big on the internet, and we wanted to be a big cosplay group on the internet. So we would coordinate these big projects that really, all things considered, were ambitious, very ambitious. So we would do like skits, we would do videos, and we would do various performative things that were fun, but considering that we were teenagers, we took way too seriously. And we would go to KimuraCon and we would like hang out at KimuraCon. The vlogs from this period of time are adorable. They're very cute. When I graduated when I graduated high school, I moved out of my parents' house. So then I was on my own financially. I wasn't sure if I could continue cosplay, but all of my friends were in cosplay. So there was also really no way out of it for me, because I still enjoyed it, and I still had connections in it. So it was sort of easy for me to stay in it, but I was using a lot of my old costumes from when I was in high school, so I hadn't really evolved. I didn't really do anything with it. I sort of just kept doing the same things. But at the same time, I was also sort of losing my passion for it, because I was recycling a lot of the same costumes over and over again. However, this is also the period of time that, now that I had freedom, I could go to different conventions other than just the ones that my parents were willing to drive me to. Well, I went to SakuraCon in Seattle for the first time, and this was incredible. It was really fun. I spent the weekend with my friends in a hotel room, and we just like hung out all weekend, and it was really cool, really fun. I went to a lot of like events I wouldn't normally go to. It was shortly after this that I actually lost all of my passion to cosplay. Briefly. The story's not over yet. KimuraCon came, and all of my friends were going, so I put on my big boy pants, and I made a costume, and I went to KimuraCon, and it sort of reignited my passion for it. Picture this. It's been about 10 years in the hobby. I've done a lot of video work. I've worked with a lot of people. I've been taking it half seriously, and I get the opportunity to start modeling and to start taking it seriously. This is about 10 years in. I felt a lot of pressure to be perfect at this point, and I think that that's a risk that you take with making a hobby into work. You sort of start to hyper focus on your quality of work, and it's you're a dork in a costume at the end of the day in cosplay. So I think that a lot of this is really pointless, but I was who I was, and I felt inadequate, so I sort of like went in and out of cosplay at this point. I didn't really stay in it consistently, and I think it's just, you really just need to stop taking yourself seriously after a point. especially with cosplay, because it's not that serious. You're an entertainer. I started to do like actual work in cosplay, and actually sort of like make money off of it, which was very like unique and interesting for me. And I think I will be doing the same thing when I come back, because I do love it. I think that there's a lot of potential there, a lot of room for growth, and a lot of things that you can do, a lot of skills that you have that the general public may not have. Coming from such a small town, such a isolated background, cosplay gave me a lot. Cosplay sort of gave me like a reason to go outside. I know that sounds dramatic, but you know, at the time I was living in this small town where I didn't really have any reason to go anywhere. And it sort of gave me like a reason to go out into the city, and to meet people, and to like talk to people, get to know people I wouldn't normally talk to. I think like no matter how seriously or not seriously you take it, it's good to have a community like that. That's like your own group. Can't talk while doing eyeliner. I don't know, that's kind of cute. Yeah, that's kind of better. That's my story. It's not like a super unique story, I don't think. Let's talk about what you actually all came here for, which is the tea. So let's talk Con Crunch. Con Crunch is great, it's fun, you get a lot done, but you also stay up all night for about 3 days. It is actually hell. So Con Crunch, one time I had a rotary cutter, and I was so tired while working on a project that was due. I was filming for it in the morning, and I had a rotary cutter, and I was cutting out foam, and I rolled the rotary cutter over my hand. If you look closely on the video for Enemy, my hand is bandaged. My hand is wrapped up because Con Crunch took a hold of me that night, and I really don't want to talk about it. There was also one night where we were trying to coordinate a skit, and last minute, one of our, we were at the convention, last minute, one of our actresses tripped and I think either broke or sprained her ankle, and it was a dance. Picture us about 45 minutes before the actual performance, standing outside the performance hall teaching that dance to another one of our friends who borrowed her costume. We did it. I don't know how we accomplished that, but I think it's possible when you're 16 and crazy. In the comments, please tell me your most memorable experience with cosplay, and because I would love to talk more about my experience with cosplay and my 15 years of knowledge, my wealth of knowledge. Tell me your most traumatic moment if you would like to share, or the biggest amount of tea. Please refrain from anything dark, because I know that dark things happen within any community, but let's keep it light, let's keep it positive. Thank you so much for watching, and please tune in again next time when I reveal all of my life secrets and tell you how I escaped from the woods to become a living being in a human vessel. Thank you very much. Bye.